out against corruption. Take her to court so that she gets charged. If she needs to go to jail, she goes there. But for now, can due process happen? Similarly, Right Honorable Speaker, there's a young man called Christopher Godi, also known as King Zare. He belongs to my political party. He was picked up by the military in Kamocha on 21st April. His whereabouts to date are not known. Why does government not want to follow the law? You see, even myself, even yourself as a leader, we can all be suspected to have committed an offense. But what does the law say? Why don't you produce people in court? When you abduct, and we call it abduct because you're not following the prescribed procedure of arrest. Right Honorable Prime Minister, why don't you want to follow the law? And Right Honorable Speaker, we were here at another time speaking about missing persons. There's a gentleman called John Bosco Chibalama. He was abducted on 3rd June 2019. It's been 7 years since. The Right Honorable Prime Minister told us Chibalama was arrested. Up to now, government has not accounted for Chibalama and 17 others. And we are adding on to that list. Why? Government needs to account for these people.
Thank you.
Both NRM and the opposition.
Right Honorable
Prime Minister, talk to us on these issues.
Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, I will start from interns. As you are aware, Right Honorable Speaker, I once was a Minister of Health, General Duties, some time back. Right Honorable Speaker, it is the President who directed the Ministry of Health to put money so that interns can be facilitated. It's not the opposition. It is NRM, it is Mosei who said, let us facilitate these people. And I want that credit to go to NRM, to go to the President. It's not opposition that brought this idea. Now, too, our young people, the medical interns, as you are aware, the number has been growing over time because of a number of universities that came in place. A comprehensive report will be brought by the Minister of Health, now that he is new, for us to understand the gist of the matter. I don't want to give you half-baked information. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg that the Minister of Health can come with a comprehensive report. As you are aware, the Minister of Health is new. He was just sworn in the other day, and I want to congratulate him, Honorable Dr. Chris. As for our sister, the woman member of Parliament, Amuria, I was sharing with the Vice President some time back, and even today. And the Vice President has concrete information about this. But briefly, she has told me the family has been informed and they know where our sister is, and very soon she will join us here in Parliament.
Is it only family? This is public.
That's the answer I can give for now. A detailed, honorable members, a detailed report will be brought by the Minister of Internal Affairs. As for other missing persons, in 2021, while we are here, in a place called Kavule, there is our chairman called Chibalama. And that's the man I meant.
Thank you.
That's the man who wrote the Bible.
VP, Your Excellency.
For the last 7 years.
Lop,
Right.
Right Honorable Lop, allow the VP.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Allow me to thank the Leader of Opposition
Order, let's listen
for
to the Vice
raising
President.
those fundamental issues. And I would like to thank the Right Honorable Prime Minister for the clarifications that she has given to the House. Right Honorable Speaker, I'm here to supplement the clarification which the Prime Minister has just given to the House. Firstly, the teaching and learning of sciences, which has cost the medical doctors to more than double or triple in our education institutions, is a fundamental policy issue by government. And when I say government, including members of the opposition, they supported that policy in the committees. And therefore, we are talking about the positive impact on the deliberate channeling of resources to the human resource development of our country. But I would like to make a short response to this House, which I would like to request the House to support. That we as government go and discuss and review the proposal that is now across the media, across the country, and the issue that the leader of opposition has raised on the stopping of the facilitation of interns. It can be reviewed. The policies that we make, the laws that we make are not cast in stone. And our being here is to solve the problems of the people. And that's why I'm saying my supplementary clarification to what the Right Honorable Prime Minister said is that allow us as government to return to the drawing board, discuss the issue, and at an appropriate time, the Minister of Health comes here with a clear statement, which we shall discuss with the facts. Secondly, and lastly, the Honorable Margaret Etilu, a woman member of Parliament for Amuria, is my daughter. She is a sister to some of you. She is a muzukulu to some of you, but she's my daughter. We all know that she is being detained. But the clarification I would like to give, in light of the Prime Minister has said, what the Prime Minister has said is that she has met her family, some of her family members were permitted to have an interaction with her. She is safe, she is healthy, and she will be joining us soon. We have been speaking to the law enforcement officers in police, on phone. Some of them we have met physically. We did not want to involve cameras. The concern that the leader of opposition has on Honorable Margaret Etilu is a concern that we all of us have about her. But from the messages that we have received from law enforcement officers, the assurance is that she will be joining us anytime this week. That's what the last message I got yesterday from the concern. The Attorney General may wish to clarify on the procedures, because the leader of opposition is concerned about legal. Is it legally done or it's not being legally done? But I think that also can be done at an appropriate time with the statement by the Attorney General. And finally, from the last Parliament, we have been discussing about the people who have disappeared. So and so is not seen. So and so, including that name is called Chibalama. In the last Parliament, we used to discuss. You members of Parliament who were here in the last Parliament, we used to share. And every time that matter would come up, would agree that it is not a flimsy matter. It is a matter that should be presented to this house in black and white. So I request that the leader of opposition agrees again that the Minister for Security, on those names which he has mentioned, returns here next week with a statement. Because it's a matter that affects all of us. We all have relatives and friends who are opposition. You also have relatives and friends who are NRM. So this issue we are discussing does not affect only you as members of opposition. It affects all of us as members of parliament, as leaders, as Ugandans. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to make the supplementary.
Thank you very much. Lope, now you give us your ministers.
Honorable Speaker, allow me to first appreciate the Vice President for her response, which has been properly clothed and easy to understand. Because when you compare it to the Prime Minister was simply mocking this House. Prime Minister, meet more often with the Vice President so that she can coach you on how to respond to some of these issues. Because you see, even when you're being given bitter medicine, somebody can put a coating of some sugar, so it's easy to take the medicine down. That's what the Vice President has said. I may not fully agree with everything she has said, but she has clothed it in a motherly way. And so it becomes easy for me to follow up. Now that she has promised, number one, the question of these intern doctors, you're going to go back and cabinet and review, and you have said nothing is cast in stone. That is what the Vice President has said. It's better than what the Prime Minister said, mocking and saying we increase the numbers and so on. And there is no harm in learning from your senior, the Vice President. Is that a bad thing? You don't want to learn?
Order.
Go for it.
Right Honorable Speaker and members, I want to inform you that I have been here in this house for quite some time, and you know how much respect I give people. My brother was with me, he is my friend, when he was still in NTV. We are very close, by the way. And in my submission, I was very clear. I even told you that I consulted the Vice President. The Vice President is more close to me than you. And so, is he in order to insinuate that I don't consult the Vice President? Is he in order?
Okay, the ruling, the Lope, now you know that the Right Honorable Prime Minister is closer to the Vice President, and she is consulting, she has been consulting. But also you need to know that the two offices are different. You should not expect the Prime Minister to speak like the Vice President.
Most obliged, Right Honorable.
Yes.
I am glad she says she always consults the Vice President. I was only encouraging her to continue to do it a lot more regularly. But you see, government, now that you are reminding us that you did pass that policy to promote sciences, and we were here, and for us who were saying it is a good thing you're paying science teachers better. We said also pay the arts teachers better. But away from that, now that you promote sciences and young people are graduating as interns and so on, medical interns, don't make it ironical by failing to facilitate them and then discouraging the younger ones who will say, maybe it's not attractive to study sciences.
Thank
so
you.
Please follow through. And then finally, Right Honorable Speaker,
Please.
it's good the Vice President has given us assurance to follow up on these missing persons, including the name that I have mentioned, the most recent one, Christopher Godi, aka King Zare. Let's follow up, produce these people in court, including John Bosco Chibalama. The Prime Minister is mocking us here to say the Chibalama I meant was a chairperson of her village. Which one? You said Chibalama was arrested, he killed the people. you need to come with a report because it is here that you told us. We were asking you about John Bosco Chibalama, and you told us that very person was arrested over certain offenses. So that's the one we are talking about. Please don't mock this house. We are waiting for the responses. Right, Honorable Speaker. Pursuant to Rule 15.2 of our Rules of Procedure, which mandates the leader of the opposition to constitute and designate colleague members of Parliament to the Shadow Cabinet, I have the honor to submit the duly constituted Shadow Cabinet for the 12th Parliament. The Honorable Harriet Nakwede, Kayunga District Woman Representative. She's our Deputy Chief Opposition Whip and Shadow Minister for the Presidency. The Honorable Eugenia Nasolo, Lubaga South Member of Parliament, Shadow Minister for Cooperatives and Microfinance. The Honorable Seungu Gonzaga, Kalungu West MP, Shadow Minister for Defense and Veteran Affairs. The Honorable Sheila Amanio, Mukono District Woman Representative, Shadow Minister for Information and Anti-Corruption. The Honorable Dr. Eunice Apio Otuko, Oyam County North MP, Shadow Minister for Science, Innovation and Technology. The Honorable Kasule Ismail, Hoima West Division MP, Shadow Minister for Trade and Industry. The Honorable Okelo Patrick Onguri, Aswa County Member of Parliament, Shadow Minister for Local Government. The Honorable Sebina Javira Nyendomukungwe, Member of Parliament, Shadow Minister for Finance, Planning and Economic Development. The Honorable Tebandeke Charles, Bale County MP, Shadow Minister for Animal Industry and Fisheries. The Honorable Alobo Joan Achom, Soroti City Woman MP, Shadow Minister for Foreign Affairs. The Honorable Sumaya Nabawanuka, Mubende Municipality MP, Shadow Minister for Lands, Housing and Urban Development. The Honorable Lukanga Moses Musanje, Njeru Municipality MP, Shadow Minister for Energy and Minerals. The Honorable Kaluya Andrew Chiza, Chigulu South MP, Shadow Minister for Education. The Honorable Chiza Hakim, Bukoto South MP, Shadow Minister for East African Community Affairs. The Honorable Jimmy Kanabi, Buikwe South MP, Shadow Minister for Public Service. The Honorable Dr. Timothy Batua Lusala, Jinja South MP, Shadow Minister for Health. The Honorable Sekabira Dennis, Katikamu North MP, Shadow Minister for Internal Affairs. The Honorable Naluima Betty Etho, Wakiso District Woman MP, Shadow Minister for Gender, Labor and Social Development. The Honorable Robert Maseruka, Mukono County South MP, Shadow Minister for Youth and Children Affairs. The Honorable Fred Jalameso, Ajuri County MP, Shadow Minister for Tourism and Wildlife. The Honorable Jamal Mukuve, Bukoli North MP, Shadow Minister for Water and Environment. The Honorable Kutesa Patrick Chimanya Kabonera MP, Shadow Minister for Agriculture. The Honorable Okot Peter, Tochi County MP, Shadow Minister for Special Regions. The Honorable Caps Fungaro, Obongi County MP, Shadow Minister for Human Rights. The Honorable Abdallah Chiwanuka, Mukono County North MP, Shadow Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs. The Honorable Zahara Luirika, Makindye West MP, Kampala Capital City Authority Shadow Minister. The Honorable Asinansi Nyakato, Hoima City Woman MP, Shadow Minister for Works and Transport. The Honorable Zambali Bulasio Mukasa, Nansana Municipality MP, Shadow Minister for Sports. The Honorable Hussein Muyonjo, some of you know him as Swengere, Jinja North Division MP, Shadow Minister for Culture and Performing Arts. And last but certainly not least, the Honorable Luyimba Zinalukola Elias, Kawempe North MP, Shadow Attorney General. Right, Honorable
is human rights?
The Honorable Caps Fungaro.
Whom is he shadowing this side?
He is shadowing issues to do with human rights. Honorable Speaker, the provision of the law is for us to have workable dockets that will hold government accountable. And that's why, by the way, we have got 30 shadow ministers. We would have had 82. But we said, no, we are going to shrink all of those into 30 workable documents, and that's allowable within the law, so that we can hold government accountable. We are not going to have 82. We believe 30 ministers are able to run government effectively. So we have shrunk all the 80 plus ministries into 30, and we are going to effectively hold government accountable. My appeal, Right Honorable Speaker, to colleagues on this side as I end.
Lob, I think what is, can we have some order?
Honorable Swaka, the Speaker is saying be orderly.
You first resume your seat. We need to get this done well. And if we get it done well from the beginning, we should be. Now, the shadow is really must be a shadow of somebody existing. So, somebody else said that when you said that you only want to reduce it to 30, actually I had one person there saying off record that you actually don't have the number to come to the 81 or so. But, which is...
Right Honorable, that's not true, and you know it because your members on this side are more than 100, as you know, because so we are your members too.
The member is now informed that you are doing rationalization. But you should not shadow what is not... Don't split when you can actually merge. But you see, it's you, the appointing authority. Honorable Chris, you wanted to give information to the Speaker and to the House? Yeah. But you can make amendments. Since there are more ministries still available, give Fungaro something, not... yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker and the honorable members. I take the opportunity to congratulate you and the members. Now, Rule 15 of our Rules of Procedure speaks to the role and functions of the leader of the opposition. And in Sub-Rule 2, it states, the leader of the opposition shall, in consultation with his or her party leadership, appoint a shadow cabinet from members of the opposition in Parliament who shall have portfolios and functions that correspond to the portfolios and functions of cabinet ministers. So this presupposes that a shadow minister will be corresponding to a cabinet minister. So now if there is no cabinet minister for human rights, so who is he shadowing if you are opposition lead? So I think the leader of opposition should harmonize so that you respect the rules.
The one handling human rights is Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. Yeah, for the government side. Thank you very much, Honorable Dr. Baryomusi. Now, on the information you have, would you want to make some amendments?
Right Honorable Speaker, in essence we are putting, because human rights are very critical to us, so we are putting 2 shadow ministers in that docket. That's why we have the one of human rights as well. Because, you see, even according to reports of Uganda Human Rights Commission, the biggest perpetrator of human rights abuses is government and government institutions. I hope you read those reports. So we are saying we want to hold you accountable as government in that regard.
Procedure.
But you came and sat on our side. Why are you putting our side on procedure?
That's why he's raising procedure matter now.
Procedure. I thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I think you already ruled and guided on the matter of having a shadow minister for justice. You properly guided the leader of opposition. So is he procedurally right to continue lamenting and insisting on that position? I thank you.
Lope, you stick to the rules. Can we go to the next item? Now, apparently, when government brings a list for ministers, vice president, but the House debates, this one, they don't need to go to the appointments committee, how lucky they are. They don't need any debate. So the House has taken note, but with the reservation on human rights. Let that one be hanging, and you find that's the guidance I would give.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Yeah.
Let's sort it out very easily so that we don't have an unnecessary back and forth. The docket of security is where most of the human rights abuses get to be committed. So the Honorable Caps Fungalo is our Shadow Minister for Security. Thank you.
The House has taken note. Let's go to the next item.
Item number 4.
Oh, let's handle it because we need, there are people with matters of national importance, two of them, which we shall consider, but let's do this quickly, and we come back to Honorable Dr. Patrick Wakida and Honorable Honorable Julius Naki Muntu. Yes, we have taken note, yes. Please, next item.
Item number 4 on the order paper. Motion for a resolution of Parliament to authorize government to borrow up to euro 168,976,354 from the UK Export Finance at Bank and System Project Phase 2.
Honorable members, Article 159(2) of the 1995 Constitution requires parliamentary approval for government borrowing. Aware that we are yet to constitute the Standing Committee on National Economy, and yet we are faced with the urgency of this request, I will invoke Rule 8.1 of the Rules of Procedure of this House and have this particular request directly considered by the House. Ordinarily, we are supposed to have treated any such request to Rule 162 of the Rules of Procedure. However, we are faced with the reality that that was not envisaged by the framers of these rules, hence recourse to Rule 8.1 of the Rules of Procedure. Therefore, pursuant to Section 34(1) of the Public Finance Management Act 2025 and Rule 58 of the Rules of Procedure, I will now invite the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development to move the motion seeking the approval of the House. But before he comes, the situation that we are faced with, we don't have the committees. That is a reality of fact. And this loan is as important as water itself. Minister of Finance, move the motion. Before the motion?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
But Honorable Bandek, you don't access the microphone before you are given. No. Please, let's respect each other.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. And I want to appreciate you that you have quoted the rules and you have highlighted that probably this loan is very urgent. But Right Honorable Speaker, while in Kololo, you promised that this House is going to go back to the foundations. And among the foundations we've been looking forward to is for this House to follow its own rules to begin with.
Right Honorable Speaker, we are in the formation stages of this House. We do not have the committees of Parliament, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, what do we lose? And we want the Minister, probably the Minister may begin from there, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable, what is the procedural issue you are raising? Because if you are referring to the rules, I have not cited the rules of Kenyan Parliament. I have cited the rules of procedure of Ugandan Parliament. I would be glad if you can come and say, Speaker, what you've cited is not the position. I would benefit from that.
Thank you very much, Right
I said
Honorable
Rule
Speaker.
8.1, and is it not applicable?
No, Right Honorable Speaker, Rule 162 requires us to take much of these matters to the committee that is not available. Right Honorable Speaker, it's not sufficient to just tell us that we don't have committees, yet the people who are supposed to formulate the committees are available. Can't we begin by formulating the committees? The other side is fully constituted, this side is fully constituted. Okay. Right Honorable Speaker, we formulate the committees and you know which committee is going to deal with this particular loan. Right Honorable Speaker, allow me to say, this particular loan, I was here in the previous Parliament, Right Honorable Speaker. When we acquired,
which loan now? We are just going to move.
When we acquired,
why don't you wait, and that would form part of your debate on the loan, for or against? Let's first, the procedural issues that, please.
Procedure issue, why don't we formulate?
The question you put is that the committee is not here. That's a question of fact. This is purely one of the first sittings we are having, and if you can listen to the motion and the justification, this House will be at liberty to make a decision whether this loan satisfies the urgency or not. So these procedural issues you are raising now are very premature. The Minister of Finance, the Minister is well guided. I have just guided Honorable Paul Muir. Let the Minister present the motion. You will have good opportunity to debate this motion, for or against.
Right Honorable Speaker.
The Minister has to move the motion to provide us a platform where you will say everything. Honorable Paul Muiro, Saba Christo.
Right Honorable Speaker.
Yes, hold on a bit, yeah. Allow the motion. Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker, whereas Article 159 of the Constitution empowers government to borrow from any source as authorized by or under Act of Parliament, and whereas Section 34 of the Public Finance Management Act, Cap 171, vests the authority to raise money by loan for and on behalf of government, solely in the Minister responsible for finance, with the approval of Parliament by resolution, aware that the government's request to borrow up to euros 168,976,354 from the UK Export Finance and the Citibank for the development of solar power irrigation systems project phase 2 has been laid before this Parliament. Now therefore be it resolved that Parliament authorizes government to borrow up to euros 168,776,354 from the UK Export Finance and Citibank for the development of solar-powered irrigation system, project phase 2. I beg to move, Right Honorable Speaker.
Is the motion seconded? Seconded by the Vice President, Prime Minister, Government Chief Whip, Minister of Agriculture who knows the value of water to the crops. Leader of opposition is Honorable Kefa, Honorable Alenyo, Honorable Wakida, everyone, Honorable Opoku, the whole house. Okay, for the record, by the majority of the members of the House. Can you justify your motion? Please, procedure does not come before justification. It can come any time when you, I know this thing very well. Justify.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, the proposed project will develop 427 irrigation systems across the country aimed at enhancing rural incomes through increased production and productivity arising from irrigated agriculture for coffee growing. Mr. Speaker, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda cleared this project for implementation in his letter dated 15th December 2021 under reference number PO/10 addressed to the Honorable Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development and Minister of Water and Environment, and a copy I have attached as annex. Mr. Speaker, to date, phase 1 of the project has achieved over 99% physical completion, with 434 systems developed across the country delivering verifiable economic benefits countrywide, including the following: 148 rural water supply systems benefiting 98,521 households and 433,992 individuals. 83 urban water supply systems serving 107,390 households and 472,519 people. And 203 irrigation systems irrigating 2,000 acres while supporting 554 households and 2,436 residents. Collectively, these initiatives have enhanced water security and productivity for 206,465 households and a total population of 908,447 across the country. Mr. Speaker and colleagues, it is important to note that phase 2 of the project had been envisaged to cover additional 700 sites. However, to preserve the vital fiscal space for other key projects that the government is implementing, the project was rescoped to fit within these fiscal parameters, optimizing 427 systems. Mr. Speaker, the objectives of my coming here of the motion is to brief Parliament on the following. 1, to note the required financing of up to euros 168,976,354 shillings, 354 euros from UKF and Citibank for the implementation of the development of solar-powered irrigation system project, phase 2, and to seek your authority, Right Honorable Speaker and the House, to proceed to borrow up to euros 168,976,354 euros from UKF and Citibank for implementation of the development of the solar-powered irrigation system project phase 2. Mr. Speaker, I now come to the justification, strategic alignment, and the financing terms. Mr. Speaker and colleagues, as the effects of climate change continue to escalate, the available water resources for agricultural production are constantly decreasing. Currently, farmers are losing a lot of crops due to prolonged dry seasons, and this in turn affects their livelihoods. The National State of Environment Report, NEMA 2024, indicated that, on average, 800,000 hectares of crops per year are the need for irrigation across the country is therefore very crucial, securing availability of water for agriculture, securing availability of water for agriculture will guarantee food security and the livelihood of the farmers, including the most vulnerable groups, and addresses the need of the very poor. I wish to inform honorable colleagues that a study by the Office of the Prime Minister estimated the loss and damage of Uganda shillings 2.8 trillion, equivalent of US dollars 1.2 billion, to the Ugandan economy, equivalent to 7.5% of the country's GDP in 2010, due to erratic rains. According to the Status of Environment Report 2014, on average, 800,000 hectares of crop are destroyed every year by climate-related events. Coffee has been identified as a priority commodity due to its strategic importance to Uganda's economy and livelihoods. Uganda is currently the second largest coffee producer in Africa after Ethiopia and the leading coffee exporter on the continent. Coffee remains the country's leading source of foreign exchange earnings, generating approximately US dollars 999.8 million from the export of 6.06 million 60 kilogram bags between March 2023 and February 2024. In addition, approximately 1.8 million Ugandans directly depend on coffee as their primary source of livelihood, with the sector dominated by smallholder farmers operating on less than 1 hectare of land. However, coffee productivity remains highly vulnerable to rainfall variability, prolonged drought spells, and increasing climate change impacts, particularly during critical crop growth stages such as flowering and cherry development. Honorable members, despite Uganda's substantial agricultural and water resource potential, irrigation development in the country remains very relative to the estimated national potential. Uganda's irrigation potential is estimated at approximately 3.03 million hectares. However, only about 23,595 hectares, which is 0.78%, representing less than 1% of the total potential, are currently under irrigation. Consequently, agricultural production remains predominantly dependent on rainfall, exposing farmers seasonal rainfall variability and climate-related production risks. Limited access to irrigation infrastructure has therefore continued to constrain agriculture to very low tariffs of 1 to 1.5 Uganda shillings per litre. This is because of very low operation and maintenance cost requirements. In addition, the adoption of powered pumping systems to water for irrigation as well as in production and productivity. The project description, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, the project shall target the development of 427 irrigation systems to enhance coffee production in the project areas across the country. The total potential irrigable area is to be developed in about 4,768 acres. Each system has an average of 11 acres with the potential to be expanded to 20 acres and consists of a water abstraction system, transmission mains, solar pumping system, storage tank, and on-farm irrigation infrastructure. Each system shall serve progressive farmers, organized farmer groups, benefiting an average of 6 households. An average of 6 households, that is 27 people. Annex 2, Mr. Speaker, indicates the list of proposed sites per district across the country. Additionally, each system will ensure capacity building of beneficiary communities for operation and maintenance of the installed facilities. The project will leverage and strengthen existing extension service infrastructure at sub-county, parish, and district levels in Uganda, working through the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Extension Programs, and the Coffee Department. District and sub-county agriculture officers will participate in farmer identification, mobilization, and ongoing agronomic support, ensuring that technical guidance on irrigation and coffee production is contextually relevant and delivered by trusted local actors who possesses deep knowledge of smallholder realities. By formally integrating government extension personnel into the project infrastructure, rather than relying on parallel or temporary systems, the intervention builds institutional ownership, creates an accountable pathway for knowledge transfer, and addresses phase 1 lessons. The project benefits. Mr. Speaker and colleagues, the project is expected to directly benefit about 2,562 households, translating to approximately 11,785 direct beneficiaries. A key focus of the intervention is improvement of coffee production, where yields per tree are projected to increase from the current average of 1.3 kilograms of chiboko to approximately 6.5 kilograms under irrigation. This improvement is anticipated to result in an annual coffee yield of about 8,893 tons, thereby contributing significantly to increased agricultural output, rural livelihoods, and economic growth. At the project level, the intervention is projected to generate approximately Uganda shillings 66.7 billion in average annual revenue to the beneficiaries. The project is also expected to produce approximately 5,336 tons of fair average quality coffee, equivalent to about 88,939 bags of 60 kgs annually. At the household level, the intervention is expected to significantly improve incomes and households, with the average one expected to realize at an annual revenue of about Uganda shillings 26 million. In terms of productivity, the average household is expected to produce approximately 2.1 tons of fair average quality coffee annually, and equivalent to about 35 bags of fair average quality coffee per year. Site readiness and rigorous selection are fundamental for phase 2, drawing on practical lessons from phase 1. Prior to any works, beneficiaries are required to sign formal land consent agreements following extensive stakeholder engagement with communities, local government authorities, and leadership structures to secure social license, prevent future disputes, and foster long-term ownership. Water for production. Regional teams conduct thorough field verification of all proposed sites to confirm they fully satisfy the project's established site selection criteria before inclusion in the project scope. Over 627 potential beneficiaries have already been profiled based on rigorous criteria in partnership with the Department of Coffee, formerly UCDA, district local governments, Operation Wealth Creation, and individual applications, and continuous assessment are ongoing. Selection of sites for irrigation. The selection criteria considerations include: number 1, there should be access to a potential source of water within 500 meters of the beneficiary. Number 2, the irrigable land area to be served will range from 10 to 20 acres. Number 3, the farmer should have a coffee plantation that is at least 1 year old. Number 4, the site can be individual or communal with consideration for commercial coffee villages for big systems. Number 5, the farmer should possess proof of land ownership or land user rights. Number 6, there should be no encumbrances along the outline of the proposed scheme infrastructure, i.e. within the distance from the water source to the command area. Number 7, the land management of the field should be adequate, showing evidence of good agronomic practices and sanitation. Number 8, the farmer should not have benefited from the project's phase 1 interventions and should not be under the planned development of the Arab Bank for Economic Development in Africa project, UGIFT and Uganda Climate Smart Agricultural Transformation Project. Number 9, the route to the farm should be accessible to facilitate construction activities. Number 10, equity considerations in line with the ministry's policy of some for all and not all for some. Number 11, the youth, women, and organized coffee farmers groups will be given special attention. The project, Mr. Speaker, has the following components. Component 1, consultancy services for design review, construction supervision, and complementary support service provisions for solar-powered irrigation systems. And the unit cost here is 13,678.81 euros. 13,678.81. Component 2 is design, supply, and installation of solar powered irrigation systems across the country, phase 2, and the unit cost is 337,229.16 euros. What are the loan terms and conditions? Mr. Speaker, the financing for the development of solar-powered irrigation systems, project phase 2, will be primarily through a loan covered by the United Kingdom Export Finance, UKF, worth euros 148,509,420. And this is inclusive of the insurance premium of euros 18,979,504, equivalent to 12.78% of the loan, and a commercial facility of euros 20,466,934 from Citibank. It is important to note, Mr. Speaker, that the export credit agencies, e.g. UKF, do not directly lend to sovereign countries like Uganda. They provide the export cover required, and commercial agencies like Citibank arrange the financing as further explained below. The commercial banks charge fees for providing such services. I now detail the particulars of the export credit agency facility, which is 90% UKF cover. The loan facility, as I had mentioned earlier, euros 148,509,420. This includes the insurance premium of 12% or 18,979,504. The tenure is 13 years, up to 13 years with a grace period of 3 years, and the interest rate is 3.65% per annum, and this is fixed, and the commitment fees is 0.2% per annum on loan amount, and the facility agency fee is euros 20,000 per annum, and upfront fees is 1.15% flat on the facility amount, and this comes to euros 1,707,858.33. Now, the commercial facility from Citibank, the loan amount is euros 20,466,934. This is 10% of the commercial contract amount and the owner's engineer. The tenure here is up to 7 years. The grace period is 2 years. The margin is 4.95% per annum. The interest rate is 6 months Euribor of 2.55% plus margin of 4.95%, which gives 7.5%. The commitment fees is 1.25% per annum on committed but undrawn amount. Mr. Speaker, I wish to note that the Euribor is a variable rate that keeps changing. As at 31st May 2026, a 6-month Euribor was 2.55%. Mr. Speaker, now I come to the project readiness. The feasibility studies for the project have been undertaken. The project is a design and build, which implies that the contractor, who is Nexus Green Limited, will do the final studies, designs, and construction. The comprehensive economic analysis update in April 2026 confirmed the project's feasibility yielding an economic internal rate of return of 14.02% and economic net present value of euros 29.83 million. To ensure adherence to the PIMS policy, the Ministry of Water and Environment has secured an owner's engineer, SGAPI Consulting Engineers Limited, to exercise strict technical oversight over the contractor during the design and construction. The loan and the current debt situation of the country. Mr. Speaker, sir, as at the end of 2025, Uganda's total debt stock amounted to US $34.86, which is an equivalent of 52.7% of GDP. The table is there. I invite honorable colleagues to look at the breakdown of our debt, and the source is from the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. Mr. Speaker, in line with the Debt Sustainability Analysis Report of December 2025, which reports debt statistics on the financial year basis, Uganda's debt remains within sustainable limits, with the total debt stock at 32.24 billion, approximately 116 trillion, for financial year 2024-2025. This comprises of US dollars 15.46 billion, an equivalent of 55.6 trillion in external debt, and US dollars 16.79 billion, an equivalent of 60.35 trillion in domestic debt. Public debt as a share of GDP is estimated at 50.86, aligning with the targets in the Charter of Fiscal Responsibility. This project is already included in our debt sustainability analysis and in the fiscal framework for the budget for financial year 2026-2027 and the medium-term fiscal framework. Consequently, this borrowing will not breach Uganda's long-term debt sustainability threshold. Mr. Speaker, I wish now to present to the House the measures we have to manage debt. Mr. Speaker, to manage and reduce our debt levels, the government has adopted revenue mobilization strategy, as well as controlling and reducing government borrowing, expenditure, and prioritizing interventions in the growth-driving sectors. Investment management system policy and strategy, which aims to streamlining the preparation, appraisal, approval, management of all government projects, and ensuring that these projects are ready before being presented to Parliament. Mr. Speaker, I now come to other conditions attached to the loan.
The other conditions, I think you can refer members.
They can.
This is about documentations.
Yes.
Can you go to your conclusion? The rest can be members. You can look at them.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, with your guidance, I now come to the conclusion, and I wish to conclude as follows. In light of the above, I request Parliament to, 1, note the need to borrow up to euros 168,976,354 from the UKF and Citibank for the development of solar powered irrigation systems project phase 2. 2, note the financing terms for the loan facilities of up to euro 168,976,354 from the UKF and Citibank for the development of solar powered irrigation systems project phase 2. And 3, authorize the minister responsible for finance to borrow up to euros 168,976,354 from UKF and Citibank for the development of solar powered irrigation systems phase 2 project. Mr. Speaker, before I yield the floor, I wish to lay the accompanying documents as per the rules. Mr. Speaker, this request is accompanied by the agreement between Government of the Republic of Uganda, represented by Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, and the lenders, who are Citibank and UKF. I beg to lay, Right Honorable Speaker.
Let the record capture that.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay the report on public debt, grants, guarantees, and other financial liabilities as at the end of December 2025. I beg to lay. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay on the table the performance of projects under the Ministry of Water and Environment from 2016 to 30th April 2025. I beg to lay.
Let the record capture.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay on table the clearance by Cabinet, clearance by His Excellency the President on behalf of Cabinet, clearing the loan to proceed and clearing that Parliament goes ahead and considers the loan. And this letter is dated June 8th, 2026. I beg to lay.
Let the record capture that.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay on the table the feasibility report which was done for this project by Ministry of Water and Environment. I beg to lay. I also beg to lay on table the sector performance report of all projects being implemented in the sector, through externally financed resources, including grants, as at March 2026. Externally financed resources, including grants, as at March 2026. I beg to lay. Mr. Speaker, I have also submitted in soft copy the following documents. Commercial contract, which is the project appraisal document, the environmental report, the procurement plan, the resettlement action plan, the project implementation plan, and the development committee approval for evidence of consistency with the national development plan. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. I beg to submit.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, are now open the debate on the motion, and the debate will be limited to 30 minutes.
Clarification.
We are going to debate.
Clarification.
Raise your procedural matters in your submission when you are debating.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
And I'm beginning with this side, and not necessarily that opposition. I will pick any members here. And Honorable Namboze.
Yes, sir.
My MP, please begin the debate.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
And in your debate, you should be clear whether you are for or against, for the record of Parliament.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, it was your ruling that I will raise this procedural matter after the justification has been done. And allow me, Right Honorable Speaker, to inform you that I've read Rule 81, upon which you based to allow the presentation of this motion. And Right Honorable Speaker, it talks about issues that are in doubt, that whenever there is a matter and the Parliament finds itself in doubt and that matter is not provided for by the rules, that Mr. Speaker, you become the rule and you guide the House. But I want to say, Mr. Speaker, that our rules of procedure.
Restate your statement.
Rule. I was summarizing the provisions of Rule 8.1.
Everybody here has a rule, your side, and we have the patience to read it together with you. Don't summarize.
Rule 8.1 provides that in case of any doubt and for any question of procedure not provided in these rules, the Speaker shall decide, having regard to the practices of the House, the constitutional provisions, and the practices of other Commonwealth parliaments, in so far as the practice may be applicable to the Parliament of Uganda. But I want to tell you, Mr. Speaker, that this particular matter is provided for under our Rule 159. So, Mr. Speaker, with your guidance, is it proper for a matter that is provided for in our rules of procedure to be handled under Rule 8.1? More so, Right Honorable Speaker, when the matter we are handling.
Did you say Rule 159?
162, Right Honorable Speaker. If you allow me to read also. Rule 162.
Actually, if you read 162, you would not raise the procedure matter. But you go ahead and read, please.
I'm reading it.
Yes, yeah.
Rule 162, Right Honorable Speaker. Rule 160, I beg to. It talks about it is 162. The Speaker shall commit the proposal to loans or guarantee request to the Committee of National Economy and to the relevant sectoral committee under which the subject matter of the request follows. That is Rule 162.2, and all the other rules that follow there under Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, the issue we are handling touches Article 159 of the Constitution, powers of government to borrow or lend. And, Mr. Speaker, if we are to go without a committee, or we are to disregard some of the provisions, are we also suspending the provisions of the Constitution as provided for under Article 159? Right Honorable Speaker, I beg that you guide me, not that I don't support the loan, but because this loan is so important to us, I would like to have it processed under our rules of procedure and under the Constitution of Uganda. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg for your guidance.
Thank you very much, and let me do this again. Please sit down. I did this at the beginning. I'm very much alive to 162. And when you read 162, it talks about it's mandatory. And 162.1 says the minister responsible for finance. You can refer to that. And then 2 mandates me that I would directly refer the matter to the National Committee of National Economy. Is it there? So, since it's not there, I went to Rule 8. The framers of these rules never envisaged the situation. Please, don't intimidate me by standing. Never envisaged the situation that at the beginning of the Parliament, before all the committees are constituted, that we shall have a very urgent, relevant, important motion request for loan like this one. That's why I said we go for Rule 8. And this should be able to guide us. I love to play by the rules. And here I'm playing by the rules. There is no single provision of the rules, either of the Constitution, that has been breached. So the guidance is, we are doing this way. Please, you know the rules. You don't argue with the speaker.
Yes. We are going for debate.
The honorable members, I want to comfort you all when I got this request. The request is time barred, that we can't even push it by one day. And the committee, now I'm the one telling you, we cannot form the committee tomorrow. We have the budget. The time barred, further guidance, former Attorney General, now Minister of Defense.
Right, Honorable Speaker and Honorable colleagues, as we clamor to follow the rules, let us follow them to the letter. Rule 8.2 says the Speaker's ruling under Rule 1 shall become part of the rules of procedure until such a time when the substantive amendment of these rules is made in respect to the ruling. You cannot deal with it. He's finished. The Speaker has given a ruling. Even if he's wrong, it is part of the rules.
And for order, and for your information, in this case, the Speaker is right. In this case, the Speaker is right. I want the lawyers on this side. Honorable Paul Mwiru, you are beginning to debate.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I rise to make a contribution to the motion. But before I do that, I want to state from the onset that actually the facts of the loan as packaged, the loan has no problem. We have a problem with the Parliament being stampeded. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to draw your attention to Rule 182. Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, this rule constitutes the business committee of this House, where I am a member, where you are a member, the Deputy Speaker, the leader of government business, the leader of opposition, and 2 independent members. The import and the chairpersons of committees, yes. Right Honorable Speaker, the import of that rule is that whereas you are the Speaker, and that one, there's no doubt about that, that there is a business committee of this House, that when business comes from wherever it comes from, it must go to the business committee. And the composition of the business committee is by law.
It is not complete.
This provision, the rule, sets up the business committee. Right Honorable Speaker, the manner in which we are proceeding, first, there is an Auditor General's report, which questions the first loan, and it raises a number of issues, and because the movers of this motion know that if we were to go through the normal scrutiny of processing a loan, our committee would question that loan. Because when you look at Article 90, it establishes the committees of Parliament, and the rationale is for efficient running of Parliament. So the question now is, I didn't want to look like I'm questioning where the Speaker got this business without calling us as a business committee, so that we deal with this business and then have a discussion and guide, because like they're setting up, ask the members of business committee.
Can I help? You want to know where the business came from? The motion is raised by Minister of Finance. That's where the business came from. You know, the roles of the business committee, where I was a member for several years, is very clear, and you know it. It's not on a day-to-day, and how many times that the business committee, I know you are a new government opposition whip, you are real dying out to have that first meeting. Very soon, when the whole committees are... Please.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
You are dying out to be in the first meeting. We are going to have that meeting when the House is fully constituted with the committee chairpersons.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, on the close reading of Article 159(2), it vests the powers to borrow in government with approval of Parliament. So we can't do it casually because people are running away from our Committee of Parliament questioning this loan. I will implore you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I started by saying that the loan has no problem. But there are things which the movers of the motion of the loan are running away from. With me, I have Auditor General's report. Right Honorable Speaker, it raises, Honorable Speaker.
Order. Well, so I didn't want us. Well, this is, we are taking over. We are taking off. Taking off with the big plane, there is need for tax. This, you allow this, so that's why I was not entertaining orders.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Yeah.
Right Honourable Speaker.
Yeah.
Right Honourable Speaker, the point of order I'm raising to my senior brother and around the council. He mentioned here that you are sitting here casually. It's on record. It is on record. The clerk can play. Right Honourable Speaker, is the Honourable Mwiru in order to say that this Parliament is sitting here casually when you have the Vice President, you have the Speaker, and all members, and even the Leader of Opposition? Is in order to say that we are just sitting here casually?
Honorable Paul Mwiru, this is not a leisure park. This is Parliament of Uganda. Nobody is here at this time casually. So I think you need to withdraw that matter for...
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I withdraw the statement in the context of my brother, the way I understood it. Right Honourable Speaker, I wanted to summarize by saying that Dr. General's report of 2025, I have a copy here with me. It states that out of the 1,009 sites handed over by government to the contractor, 162, which is 16%, were marked as failed feasibility study stage, at the feasibility study stage. That's one. Two, that similarly, 58 schemes, which is 21 irrigation and 37 water supplies, failed at design phase, resulting into financial loss of 208,530 euros. That's Dr. General's report.
And when was it tabled here and adopted?
Right, this is a report of 2025. Dr. General presented the report to Parliament, and it was supposed to be dealt with by the committee, the relevant committee, adopted by the House, and then the Minister of Finance would issue a Treasury memoranda to show action taken on these issues raised.
So this report has not been adopted by the House?
Honourable Speaker,
Auditor General's report, you have it in the committee, Accountability Committee, or it was brought here?
Right Honourable Speaker, as I took oath to defend the Constitution...
Clerk, can you establish when it was adopted here?
Right Honourable Speaker, Dr. General's report is a public document. It is raising a red flag. And Honourable Speaker, you need to get me right. I said I have no problem. Personally, I'm a farmer, and I want to take benefit of this loan. But what the movers, the technical people are doing, it is to stampede the Parliament, so there's no scrutiny over the loan. I would implore you, Honourable Speaker, finally, that I know you are my chairperson in Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee, a very careful person. And I think they're just stampeding you, making us to give us more of the same. So I call upon you to really reconsider and we follow the law. Thank you.
Thank you for the debate, and I believe government side you are listening to the issues being raised. That is a healthy debate. Please continue to raise such issues. It will help us. Honorable Chirumira.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, given our budget constraints as a country, we have to borrow. But we have to borrow right and smart. Right Honorable Speaker, this particular loan is completely unconcessional, contrary to the laws of the land. Right Honorable Speaker, the public investment financing strategy, financing options. On page 32, it is very categorical on programs we must borrow and the source of funding. This particular project, Right Honorable Speaker, under environment, climate change, land and water management, it states that we must borrow concessionally from grants, concessional loans, and government revenue. This particular loan, Right Honorable Speaker, from UKF and city banks are commercial loans, very expensive loans. If you look at the terms and the conditions of these loans, Right Honorable Speaker, they are equal to those of money lenders. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues, this project we are borrowing for is one of the worst